get dark. It's only 4:30, but it gets dark early in this part of the country this time of year. And this road to this next hot spring that we're going to is slow going. We're trying to go to Soldier Meadows. The friend that I'm with didn't want to take the official route because we would have had to backtrack. So we thought, oh, let's just go cross country through the desert instead. Well, not exactly cross country because there are roads that we're following, but the signal is so bad out here. Thank goodness I have my trusty atlas so we can follow our route. Okay, wow. A lot has happened since I saw you last, since I shot the last segment. We found this little cabin that we were looking for by Soldier Meadow Hot Spring, and even though it's a Friday night, nobody was here, which is amazing because it was after dark by the time we got here. We drove around for quite a while trying to find this place. And I don't know, I was really surprised that it's a pretty nice cabin, that it would be empty on a Friday night. But I guess hunting season hasn't really started yet, and no one else is crazy enough to come up here when it's this chilly. But we made a fire in this little wood-burning stove, and this cabin really warmed up nicely. So I'll shoot some footage in the morning because the light's not very good right now, so you can check it out and see for yourself. I mean, I'm still going to sleep in my car because I didn't bring a cot or anything, but I'm hanging out in this cabin soaking up this heat as long as I can. Oh, by the way, I just noticed something else. We had a nightcap. One of the girls that's with me is from Montreal, and she brought this awesome spiced rum from Quebec. And look at the label. Daring adventurers, we salute you. How cool is that? It's like perfect for our little adventure that we're on. Ugh. Oh my God, you guys. It's the next morning and it is cold. My friend slept in the cabin, but I already had a bed made in my car. So I thought, oh, I'll just leave in my car. Oh, you know how friggin' cold it was? You probably can't see, but first of all, there's ice crystals and frost on the outside of the car. But even worse, there was snow the inside of the car. Or not snow, but I guess the condensation. Because normally I'll leave a window cracked open for fresh air, but it was so freaking cold I left it all closed. And the condensation froze. That's how cold it was. Yikes. Okay, so this is what ended up happening to us last night. We had been at this hot spring here, Black Rock Hot Spring, and we were trying to get to Soldier Meadows Hot Spring, which is way up, like, not even on the page, up there. So the easiest route would have been to cut back across the playa to the highway, and then gone up to where this Soldier Meadows road is and take that, which it's a pretty nicely graded dirt road, 50 miles long, but pretty easily doable. But we're adventuresses. We didn't want to backtrack. Instead, we decided, oh, look, there's this other road that goes up along here. We'll just take that to Soldier Meadow. Well, it wasn't really that bad of a road, but we were running out of daylight and ended up going all the way up onto the next friggin' page. We came up to Soldier Meadows. We saw the guest ranch sign. It was pitch black by that time, and we knew that somewhere around here there was a cabin we could stay in. We had no idea which road it was on. We tried going down this road. We tried on this road. I mean, all of this in the pitch black, by the way. Thankfully, it was almost a full moon, so we had some moonlight, and my friend has a pretty good LED light bar on her 4Runner. So we finally found it. It was down here by the BLM campsites, and we found the cabin. And even though it was a Friday night, nobody was in it, and we were able to stay in it. This is Soldier Meadow. Just this lonely, really lonely, very remote, high desert plain. And I don't know if you can see there in the distance, there's steam coming off. Oh, 4 different places, 5 different places. Those are all hot springs. Unfortunately, none of them are close enough to walk to, because I'd love to just jump in one right now. But we're going to pack up and go soak there. And then look. Here's the little cabin. Go inside and check that out. Now this cabin is different from other volunteer cabins I've stayed in because I think this one is actually maintained by the BLM, or it was built by the BLM. It's not a historic mining cabin or anything like that. But it's still cool that they have that here. And it's listed as a campsite on the map that, like, when you first come into this is like a BLM campground. This is listed as a campsite, which is really cool on the part of the BLM. I know they get a lot of guff, but they do some cool stuff. And there's a couple of picnic tables out front and a little fire ring for an outdoor campfire. But when we got here last night, it was so friggin' cold. We just wanted to go straight inside and make a fire so we could get warm, because there's a little wood burning stove in here. Check it out. This is the cabin we stayed in. Now it's kind of, I guess, sterile and spare compared to some of the more interesting old miners' cabins I've stayed in, but perfectly serviceable. And let me tell you, last night in the dark, it was a godsend. So it's just one simple room, plain white walls, that cool old wooden door. Like I said, there's this really cozy wood burning stove that we had a really nice fire in last night. Stove is supposed to be kind of hard to operate, so they had a list of directions here on the wall telling you how to start a fire, but we really didn't have much problem. And there's plenty of cardboard and paper and firewood laid in. We left a box of our own firewood as well, and it was pretty toasty. Okay, I'm gonna actually close this door because it's still chilly. But yeah, check out the door. Nice solid wood door. Coat rack. Oh, yikes. Oh, I guess there was 2 cars. Interesting. Anyways, there's some board games, some toiletries, bug spray. Over here is the library. Books, you know, the usual kind of stuff. Crayons, pens and pencils, really cute. For a BLM cabin, this is cute. Oh, it looks like there's some maps for the area. Oh, cool. Yeah, speaking of maps, I think that must be cleaning stuff in that bin, I don't know. Speaking of maps, there's this map here that shows you the area that we're in. We're in Soldier Meadows, and today we're going to be heading farther up north, but yesterday we came from down south. Oh, here's the trail register, or the cabin register, guest register, whatever you call it. It's all the little things that people have written in here. You know, this is the funniest entry in here from July 2017. So this guy writes about how cool the cabin is, but he's here on a scientific mission, and I guess they got funding denied or something. So he was very upset with the current administration and kind of went on a political rant. And then what's interesting is this is like a Facebook page, because somebody responded in longhand to his political rant. You can be a good steward of the earth and still be a Republican. We get some real research done. I just thought it was funny, like they're arguing in longhand, okay? I mean, all these stupid fights that go on Facebook and in the comment section of this very same video probably. You guys are lazy. Try writing all that stuff out by longhand and see how long-winded you are. Your hand will get tired before you get too angry. Actually, maybe that's part of the reason Facebook is destroying the fabric of our society and the internet. It just makes it too easy to argue. If you had to actually write stuff out with a pen and pencil, you'd get tired and you wouldn't fight as much. Anyways, here's the pantry. Paper towels and some food stocks laid in. A whole mess of tea lights, lighters. We left some hot hands, because boy howdy would people need them up here. It was cold. And then the floor is wood board, very solid. One of the table legs is a little janky, so they put a map under that. You know, here's that cleaning bin. In the interest of being thorough, I'll look inside it. Yep, just, well, it looks like garbage, actually. That's not cool. Why would people leave trash here? We packed all our trash out. There was a lantern hanging from the ceiling, but it wasn't very bright, so we used our own light. Okay, I better close these windows. We had the windows cracked because the fire last night. We didn't want to get smoked out. Okay, now let's go. I don't know if you noticed, but there's another door next to this one. It's a 2-room cabin. You're probably wondering what was over on this side. Well, I'll show you. First of all, it's a BLM sign, no garbage collection, pack it out, right, which we are. And look in here, it's just sort of like a creepy lean-to woodshed. This is where your mother-in-law would have to sleep. Oh, that sound is my friend airing up her tire. One of her tires was low. But yeah, look at this old bed. I actually thought of dragging this into the cabin and sleep on it last night, but it just seemed like too big of a pain, and that's why I ended up just staying in my car. But yeah, I think the idea is that this is sort of like a work shed because there's a caulk gun and some brushes and tools and stuff. So, and then there's some layer feed, which that must just be a bag full of something else. Oh, it looks like there's Quikrete or something in it. And not only is the cabin really cozy and awesome, but there's also this outhouse. I know it's kind of gross to go inside an outhouse, but check this out. It's very clean. Just if you ever want to come stay at this cabin, you should know that you'll have a safe place to use the bathroom. Very standard outhouse, but the floor is real clean and the toilet's clean and there's plenty of toilet paper. Oh yeah, and then there's this license plate up top there too. I guess that's the address of the cabin. Anyways, that's the Soldier Meadows cabin. Really a cozy place to stay and surrounded by this amazingly beautiful high desert in this super remote. I mean, take out a map or click onto Google Maps if you're watching this on your laptop. Look at the northwestern corner of Nevada. There's nothing there. It's just like this blank space. There's no real big towns, not even really any highways, but that's what's up here. All this amazing stuff. It's so freaking cool. I'm so glad we took the time to come up here. Anyway, I better go help my friend make sure she got her tire aired up okay. And then we're gonna try to head over to one of those little hot springs in the area and go for a quick morning dip before we set off on our way. Whew. Okay, we drove over to the spring that we saw last night. And last night it looked beautiful. Steam was rising off it and it was full moon and it would have been an awesome place to soak, but we kind of wanted to keep going until we found that cabin. So we came back this morning though, and it looks pretty good in the daylight too. So I got my robe on so that when I get out of the water I don't freeze my tuchus off. But let's check it out. Okay, wow, look at this spring. It's beautiful, huh? Nice little wooden pier. And then a cool little metal ladder that goes down into it. And it looks pretty deep. And it's a really good size. Look at this. Beautiful desert all around. My friend put her hand in and said it wasn't really that hot. So I don't know how long I'm going to want to be in here. But we'll see. Whew, okay, this spring is definitely not hot enough for my taste. I mean, it's warmish. It's probably like
90.
Yeah, 90-ish. But it's really deep, so you can't just look. I was gonna try to walk around and find a hot spot, but
Especially down lower.
It's too deep, and I'm not a very good swimmer. And if you had a pool floaty, and it was a summer day, yes, this spring would probably be great. But I don't have a pool floaty. It's definitely not a summer day, and I'm freezing, so I think I'm gonna get out. Anyway, that was our adventure to Soldier Meadows Hot Springs and the Soldier Meadows cabin. Definitely a cool place. I sincerely hope to come back here again, maybe at a time of year when it's not so friggin' cold, but just a beautiful desert and really cool country. This corner of Nevada is definitely worth exploring. So now we're gonna keep heading north on this road up to the Oregon border to the town of Denio. See what's up that way. More hot springs and more cabins ahead. Stay tuned.